Hey Sabrina, welcome, welcome. Hey Sabrina, welcome, welcome. Hey, sweetie, I'm sorry I didn't see the chat box. I did. I had a wonderful, well, not wonderful, but definitely relaxing break. Um, Stayed home, didn't go anywhere, didn't do really anything but take care of my wife and, watch a lot of news and read a lot of books. I did a lot of reading. What did you do? Oh, right on. Did you submit your baked goods to Miss Nguyen to participate in the big Bake Off sale or the big Bake Off competition we did? I don't know if you knew we had that or not, but we did. We did the big Bake Off thing, a Via Bake Off. Ah, you forgot, Sabrina. I bet your cookies were great though. Oh well, next time. Okay, I'm gonna go get some tea. We'll start in about 6 or 7 minutes. La 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 la. Oh, that's what I came for. Hola, good morning, good afternoon, Fabiola.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Hi. Nice to see you.
We have Sabrina, one of our students here with us. She's joining us. Sabrina, this is Miss Corona. This is our chairperson for the committee. I hope you had a pleasant New Year's Eve or New Year's break. Hope you were able to have some fun.
How was the Christmas?
Oh,
How was it?
it was very difficult. It's just hard not to be with family. Yeah, I want to
I
be.
know.
Uh,
Yeah. The same with us too. Yeah, only in the house.
but it made me appreciate my family more. So
Yep.
it was good.
That's the good thing.
Yes. Today should be a short meeting. I just have we're going to do a quick presentation, and then see
Okay.
if you guys have anything you would like us to work on or you need us to do. Um, that's
Okay.
nobody sent me anything to put on the agenda today.
Okay.
It looks like we're joined by Mr. Elizararas. Hello. Thank you for joining us, Jaime. Hello, hello. Good to see you, young man. Pleasure, pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. ¿Cómo está, Fabiola?
Muy bien, maestro. Muchas gracias.
Bueno, bueno. ¿Disfrutó sus vacaciones?
Ay, te diré que lo único que puedo disfrutar es que estoy viva y mis hijos
Es
están saludables,
verdad que
porque de ahí hay mucho trabajo en casa, tú lo sabes, maestro.
sí, no, sí, comprendo.
Pero se aprecia ya, por primera vez se aprecia.
Qué bueno, no, qué bueno, que están bien y su familia también.
Sí. ¿Y usted qué tal se la pasó?
Bien, bien, tranquilito, tranquilito en casita. No, nomás quedarnos en la casita nomás.
Ya.
No salir afuera, nomás si es que es necesario. Pero de ahí, nomás con la familia directa y ni los pude, porque me enfermé yo antes de las vacaciones. Y ya pues, lo bueno que vivimos con mi abuelita, ella gracias a Dios no se enfermó.
Oh, ya, chulada.
Nomás mi mamá y mi hermana sí. Leve fue, pero no fue tan grave. Pero ya ahorita pues mucho cuidado.
Gracias
no queremos
a Dios.
estar en el mismo lugar tanto tiempo, es más rápido. Hello, I love you, bye.
Hey, Miss Nunez, lovely to see you. Good afternoon, welcome, welcome.
Hola, maestra.
Muy buenas tardes. Hello, everyone. So glad to see you guys.
I tell you, I am digging the Nunez styles early in the year. I don't know if you guys have seen Crystal's new email signature. When she sends email, she has a signature line. Beautiful, very, very nice. But then look at the background of her too. She's got the color on the right, the lights on. Come on, that's style. Speaking of style, Mr. Sanchez.
Thank you, Dr. A.
Of course, mademoiselle. Welcome, Isaac. Good to see you, senor. Thanks for joining us.
Just waiting Happy for first day back. Bienvenidos a todos y feliz año nuevo a todos. Happy New Year.
Igualmente. Bienvenidos.
Aquí en mi my third cup of coffee for the day.
Oh no.
Don't even get through it,
Yeah, because when we're at work and we're moving, you got energy going, and at home it's just so yeah. I've switched from coffee to tea now. I'm trying to take it easy on my stomach a little bit, but it's just not the same. Tea is just not the same.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I'll have to look into that.
I completely let go of those two things.
Wow.
And it's just been pure pure water. That is it.
Oh,
Nothing else. It
how's
was
it?
hard. The first 2 weeks were dreadful.
Did you have any headaches? Because I've heard.
No. I just craved like caffeine. I had a lot of withdrawals. I wanted caffeine and soda, and I was like, no. I can't do it. It's because it was messy. I was very jittery throughout the whole day. Because I'm a very nervous person. Well, not anxious, better yet. So I'm always like this. But now that I put that aside and just drink a lot of water, it's calm. My levels have calmed down a lot.
You know, just as a side note, your use of the word nervous is how it's used in Europe and especially in Russia. That's what, instead of anxious, they say nervous.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm wondering if it's because there's some sort of a primary language transfer.
No, it's because of Spanish. It's like nervios.
Nervios.
Soy nervioso. So I just translate directly to Spanish.
No, but the point I'm making is that your original use is actually more in use than you think. You know, I mean, if it's used in the Latin languages, in the Romantic languages, and in Russian, but we just have the special word anxious. Hello, Ms. Gomez. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Happy New Year's.
Oh, yes.
Feliz año, Fabiola, Isaac. Mr. Velasco, you're my goddaughter's soccer coach. Valeria Burgos. All those kids that went to Villa are my nephews and nieces. And Palacios, too. Alexander Palacios, Alexis Palacios. I'm like, oh, cool.
Wow. I was actually trying to convince her to go to Santa Ana High School. She's like, hell no.
No, she's at Godinez.
Yeah, I was coaching there. That's why I was trying to recruit her, but shh.
Yeah, no, she's good. I love her.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Idalia. Welcome. I'm going to change your name.
Bonito cabello.
Qué bonito.
I'm sorry, Idalia. Last name is Ramos, is that right? Oh, Rios. There it is. So it's already done. Thank you.
Thank you. Feliz año a todos. Happy New Year.
Igual.
Santa pasó por aquí.
Well, I'd like to recommend that we at least wait another few minutes until Dr. Sequeira joins us. But Ms. Corona, of course, it's up to you. You're the chairperson.
¿Quiere empezar?
Sí, hay que esperarla, ¿no?
Okay.
Hay que esperar a la directora.
She wants to wait.
Como miran ustedes.
Fabiola está más generosa que yo. Yo digo, no, ¿por qué la vamos a esperar? Todos estamos aquí, hay que empezar a tiempo y respetar el tiempo de todos, pero usted es más nice que yo.
Hay que esperarla.
Just going to send her a quick message. She's got a lot on her plate, so sometimes she gets stuck in other meetings. So let me see if I can track her down.
En lo que esperamos a la doctora Sequeira, feliz año nuevo a las que a Idalia, a todos los que entraron apenas. Espero que se la pasaron bien con sus familias, que estén bien seguros. Happy New Year for those of you that just joined us. And hopefully you guys had a safe holiday break.
Thank you very much, Senor. I appreciate that. Just as a reminder, we are streaming live on YouTube, everybody. So I just sent her a text message, and so I'm just really waiting for her to come on up. I think you've all had a chance to take a look at the agenda. We don't have a lot on the agenda today, just a discussion / presentation about some instructional programs, and then should be fairly quick. Yeah, she's having trouble with she just connected with me. She's saying she's having trouble with the internet. So if you'll just give me one moment, let me help her troubleshoot that. And sorry for the inconvenience here. Almost done. Oh no, it's because you're using the wrong. Okay. should be joining us shortly. Maybe in a minute or so. Maybe even sooner. She's very fast. Oh, did I send her the wrong link? I hope I didn't send her the wrong link. Oh, yes, no. All right.
Pregunta, por cuestiones de transparencia, ¿es que lo están transmitiendo por YouTube? Ok, gracias.
Oh, I love your hair color, Miss Rios. Was it that color last time? No, it wasn't. I would have noticed. I would have remembered. I wish I could have. I don't have enough hair. If I had enough hair, I swear I would color it all the time.
Well, I don't have that much hair either, but we had an issue with with the color, but we have hair, so that's what matters.
Yes, that's right. That's right. No, sorry, Mr. Velasco. Okay. Just gonna see what's taking so long. No, she should have everything. Okay. So, Miss Corona, she's coming. She's communicating with me in the back. She's trying to get inside. She's just having technical problems. If it's okay,
Okay.
we can start. Okay, gracias. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. So, hey, welcome everybody. Today should be a short meeting. Miss Corona, if you have any opening comments or if you'd like to say anything, of course, you're welcome to.
¿Hay algunos comentarios que gusta mencionar, señora Corona?
No, ahorita ando nueva en esto. ¿Algo, Idalia, que se me pase o ya se fue ¿cómo se llama esta mujercita?
¿La señora Gómez?
La señora Gómez. Ya se fue, creo.
No, aquí está.
No, ahí estás. Ay, ya ando buscando, mujercita. ¿Algo que se me pase? Angie.
Yo creo que no, yo no que sepa nada, no.
We're good. She's good.
Okay. So as you'll see on our agenda, now that we have at least started, we definitely have quorum. So I'm the minutes as taken by the Council Secretary, Ms. Nunez, have been posted up on our website, but I just also put it in the chat box. If you haven't had a chance to review them yet, if you haven't done so, please do so, because at this point I asked for is there a motion to approve last month's council meeting minutes?
I'll motion to approve last week's minutes.
Velasco, is there a second?
I second.
All right, Ms. Gomez seconds it. So all in favor, please raise your hand to approve last week's minutes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know it's kind of strange to do it this way, but it's just the fastest way. And incidentally, before we get into the rest of our stuff today, I just want to point out to you that we have met our first goal for our audit. For the schools, the school is under federal audit right now for multiple programs, and our first guideline was completed. Our first timeline was met, and so we've got two more big hurdles coming up, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about that at our next month's meeting in February. Hey, Dr. Cicada, good afternoon, mademoiselle. Welcome, welcome.
Y entonces,
Hi,
ahorita, señora Corona, está mencionando de que acabamos de pasar la primera fase de la auditoría. Pero vamos a todavía continuar con la siguiente en el siguiente mes, es cuando vamos a platicar más sobre el asunto.
Okay.
Okay, so really, a majority really of today's get together is to have a conversation around our English learner instruction programs, and to hear from Ms. Gomez to see what the report is from the December DAC-DLAC meeting, and that's it. We don't have any new business or anything we need to vote on. Nothing at least has been submitted to that effect. So I thought that unless there's any objections, instead of doing the traditional presentation where I would speak with my slides and then afterwards I'd say, "Are there any questions?" And it takes such a long time to get through it that it's like, all right, no questions. I thought instead, especially since we do have to do the translation aspect here, what I've done is I've taken the slides that we use for some of the presentations and discussions around the instructional program for English learners, and I've got it basically broken down into a very short PDF file in big format, English one side, Espanol on the other side. And so what I was thinking is rather than basically taking 20-30 minutes here and me talking, I will share with you this document. Maybe we can take about 4 or 5 minutes of time to review it, and then we can come back and engage in a conversation. And I can do a quick little overview of it, and then we can have a discussion about it. Because I don't know about you folks, but I want to start this year off in a positive way, and sitting through presentations on Zoom is just not an easy thing. I don't know. Anybody else feel that way, or am I just the only person who's anxious? So how about again, consider this the presentation. What I'll do is I'll share with you the PDF. Again, it's in Espanol and in English. It's very short, shouldn't take more than a couple minutes to take a look at it, and then we can come back and very quickly have a discussion about it. Is that okay with everybody?
Entonces, señora Corona está mencionando de que ahorita el doctora va a mostrarle o le va a dar, compartir con usted un documento para que lo podamos ver. Está en inglés y en español. Dice que probablemente vaya a tomar unos minutitos para que lo podamos repasar y luego nos juntamos nuevamente para poder platicar sobre el documento.
Okay.
And it's in the chat box. If you don't mind, just take a few moments, and then perhaps we can reconvene at 3:20. At 3:20, it's now 3:15, and we'll reconvene at 3:20. And I'm here to answer any questions you have. Yes, Mr. Rios.
Yeah, since we're transmitting this session on YouTube, I'm guessing people are going to be wondering what exactly are we reviewing. So I don't know if it's better if we review it as fast as we can together, so that way people can have access to this information.
Yeah, I'm actually on the YouTube page right now, and there's nobody watching us.
I'm just hoping that other parents might connect later and they,
Sure.
well, hopefully we're going to share this with other parents so that way.
Yeah, we are. What I'm asking you to do now is just to read it first so you can get an understanding of what it is, and then we will come back, we'll take a look at all the slides together, and we'll have a conversation about it.
Okay.
And Emil, I'm not able to, I click on the link and it just gives me I think it's my internet. I don't think it's your document, but I'm not able to access the document. I'm sorry. So I'll just wait until everybody reviews it and then.
It's happening to me too. It's just nomás está procesando. It's just processing.
Yeah, but nothing happens. I thought it was my internet.
I was like, I was waiting. It's like, okay, nothing's happening.
Oh, okay.
It looks like Vidalio's is as well. Are you getting that too, Isaac, Crystal?
Yeah, same thing. It's like buffering for me too.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, not cool, but.
Okay. Well, how about I will share my screen with you guys.
There we go. Yeah, that works.
There we go. Are you able to see it now?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Can you scroll a little bit up? Sorry, I went faster. Oh, the other way. Right? Isn't it this way? Yeah, there you go. I already read all that. Thanks. Sorry. Can you keep scrolling? Sorry. Thank you.
Okay. So, and I'll go over the rest of these slides when we over our conversation here, Ms. Gomez and Ms. Rios here. So it's now 3:20, and I think everybody hopefully has had a chance to at least get through the slides. I know a couple of you haven't, but perhaps we can have just an open discussion about the matter of attendance. Obviously, you can see that the idea is that because the purpose of the school site council is to support the decisions that are made at the school to meet the needs of students that have compensatory needs, like need some support with their education, and students who happen to also be English learners. The idea is to discuss the things that helps them and to discuss the things that makes their education difficult as well. And what we know is that attendance matters. Jaime, you might just give an overview of that.
Sí, entonces, señora Corona, lo que está mencionando ahorita el doctor A está mencionando en cómo es de que de parte de esta consejería, que lo que estamos haciendo es pues buscar siempre las maneras más eficientes para continuar ayudando a nuestros estudiantes. En particular, nomás para dar resumir todo lo que estaba mencionando, ahorita está tocando en cuanto a la asistencia. Es una de las claves principales que nosotros podemos ayudar a nuestros estudiantes, pero ahorita el director va a mencionar más mientras que está pasando en la pantalla la información, así podemos platicar más sobre el asunto y buscar maneras más eficientes para poder ayudarlos.
Okay.
So as you can see from the document, this is a pretty big indicator of how kids are going to fare in their life. This third bullet point on the slide right here, being late to school may lead to poor attendance. I've read quite a bit about that topic, about how tardiness, because when I first started as a teacher, I just thought tardiness was no big deal, man. Who cares if the kid is a minute late or even 5 seconds late? And I came to learn a lot about how important tardiness is. And the reason I'm making a point of this, again, is just really as a point of discussion, is to say, big part of what school does for children is to get them into the habit of being on time, showing up to things. And, we keep talking about lost learning, or what's the term that's being used? Lost what?
Learning loss.
Is it learning loss, right? That's the term that we're using more and more now. It's not just math and English and science and social studies and art. We're also losing some of these other matters, including the habits of being on time. And so when I don't know, how are you guys dealing with that in the classroom, Mr. Velasco, Mr. Nunez? How is tardiness or is attendance starting to rear its ugly head in the students' performance and attitudes, or are you not seeing that yet?
It's tough to tell. Those students who have been habitually absent since the beginning continue to be in the same boat. And then on the other side, those students that have managed to get to class on time continue to be, and it's not affecting those that are showing up. And the negative effect for the ones that are not showing up has already had their effect. It's already easy to see. It's difficult to get them to class on time. The best that I've been able to manage it is to make the beginning of class as engaging as possible, make them feel like they may be missing out on something if they don't show up on time. And for the most part, it seems to be happening, but it's I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's tough to know because it could very easily be a connection issue. Even though I have access to their screens here and I could see what they're doing, it's very difficult to know if they're being inefficient or if they just can't get in. So it's a tough way to measure it, but
yeah. Because I'm sharing my screen, I'm not able to see you guys. So if there's anybody who needs to say anything, please just speak up. This isn't really me doing a show here. The intention is for the council to engage in conversation about these topics. This slide, of course, speaks to the heart of us, right, at the middle school. That by the 6th grade, we know that if the kids are starting to be absent, and show absenteeism, which is considered being absent basically twice a month. It's the chances of that child dropping out of high school, not just not doing well in high school, but just dropping out is like 3 times higher. And so there's the reason we want to take time to have these conversations is because there are connections between the children's futures and their current behavior. I don't know, Jaime, if you want to try to translate that.
Señora Corona, entonces básicamente lo que estaban platicando es en la pantalla anterior que estaba mostrando el director, en cómo es de que lo importante no nomás es el problema de faltar, pero también el hecho de que los estudiantes hay que crear buenos hábitos para que lleguen a tiempo. Eso es algo muy importante porque debido a que si muchos estudiantes no aprenden ese buen hábito, al final, si lo miramos en el aspecto más grande, con el tiempo va a ser, sumando todo, es estar perdiendo mucho tiempo de aprendizaje, pérdida de aprendizaje como se está mencionando. Entonces, el director está mencionando, por eso es algo muy importante que les enseñemos a los estudiantes, así para que tengan éxito. Algo, incluso lo que el director le preguntó al maestro fue qué es lo que ha hecho en sus clases y lo que ha mencionado es de que ha tratado de hacerlo desde el que entran los estudiantes, tratar de hacerlos sentir de que si llegan a tiempo, no van a perder de algo increíble, que es aprender. Ha visto, obviamente hay que entender de que probablemente está el problema de que los jóvenes, las jovencitas no se pueden conectar debido al internet, que esos son posiblemente algunas de las razones, pero siempre tratar de buscar una manera adecuada, así para poder ayudarles a los estudiantes para establecer el poder que ellos lleguen a tiempo e incluso no lleguen a faltar. Sí.
Fíjate que, perdón, ¿ya terminó, maestro? Perdón.
Ya, listo.
Mira, ese es un punto bien súper importante porque ¿qué estrategias podríamos nosotros hacer, no sé, desde en el equipo, ¿verdad? Como maestros, ahorita nosotros como las que estamos ahí, para poder ayudar a los estudiantes. Yo tuve un caso de un compañerito de mi hija, de la high school. El muchachito le mandó mensajes a su amiguita de que ya no quería vivir, que ya su vida estaba mal y muchas cosas tristes. El punto al que yo quiero llegar es mirar que muchos niños, pues ahora sí que nosotros ahorita como latinos, porque yo generalizo, y lo digo a nivel personal, me está costando mucho trabajo. Tengo un niño que es súper desenfocado. ¿Y de qué manera podríamos ayudarlos? ¿Cómo podríamos trabajar? ¿Cómo podríamos motivarlos? ¿Qué estrategias podríamos? Porque sí podemos decir que tienen que tener una rutina, porque eso es nada más como deben. pero emocionalmente muchos ahorita andan súper mal, honestamente. A muchos niños en la familia, y ahorita hasta se me hace un nudo, conozco personas que toda la familia está mal, solo el niño de Villa no está mal, y es una familia de Villa. Entonces, aquí yo creo que si estamos en esto es para apoyarlos y de qué manera podríamos apoyarlos. Yo ando en mi cabeza, ¿verdad? Anda generando, o sea, no sé, motivarlos con una tarjeta, a motivar, no sé, pero, o sea, algo tenemos que hacer para motivar a esos niños, porque es bien fácil que dicen ya no y ya no. Perdón, estuvo muy largo. Gracias.
Ms. Kerner was mentioning how that point that you were highlighting regarding tardiness is something that's very important. But one thing that she wants to highlight is what strategies, even the strategies that are put in place, but what other strategies can we use to be more effective to help our students? One thing that she has noticed that everyone, it's not just academic support, but it's also emotional support, because she's experienced through her children's friends just how much this has been very overwhelming, to the point where they don't want to go to school. They just don't appreciate life itself because of the circumstance that's going on. What is it? How can we support them emotionally, and what strategies can we do better to help our students?
¿Y puedo decir algo, señora Fabiola? Y la entiendo completamente. Mire, yo tengo ahorita mis 2 niños en terapia. Yo, el de Villa, hablé con el consejero, el señor Miguel, I believe is the counselor's name, Briseño, y él me pudo conectar con terapia y les ayuda mucho. Y les gusta, como que se desahogan. Porque los niños, gracias a Dios, tenemos bien vida, like, un matrimonio bonito, estamos con ellos, pero ellos como que se desesperan también y necesitan desahogarse. Y a mí lo que le ha ayudado a los niños es la terapia y semanal. Aunque sea virtualmente, les ayuda mucho. So one thing I was sharing is that both of my children, the Villa student and my Madison student, I've had on therapy, and I was very lucky that Mr. Briseño was able to link me to therapy for my child. It's a long story, but even to get therapy through my insurance, because it's private insurance, and I work for local government, I would have to drive 25 miles to Corona. So I wouldn't be able to take my child to therapy if I went through my health insurance. So Villa and Madison have been amazing with connecting my kids to therapy. It's really helped them. I hope it helps everybody, but I think mental health is super important. La salud mental de estudiantes, de las mamás, super importante. Sorry, before you say, can I ask for Villa, do you guys have like a roster, or like how many kids, like do you guys have like the disengaged students, the ones that are not logging on, the ones that are not showing up to class? Like what's either your percentage or around how many kids do you have on that list?
I can say as my own program of my 137 students, right now I have 4 students that are completely disengaged. I haven't met them. I don't know who they are. They
To go, excuse me.
but I would imagine that actually, honestly, Dr. Cicada, I'm not really sure if that actually extrapolates out to the whole school. I'm not sure, actually. That's probably shouldn't be talking.
It's definitely it's difficult to wait a minute before I don't want to be Dr. A here. Jaime, do you want to interpret that before we continue?
Oh, Dr. A is back. Wait, what do you want me to interpret?
What I said?
Yes.
Oh, what I said? Oh, I can. That's fine.
Yeah, and I could say what I said too. So lo que yo dije, sorry, because it was, so lo que yo quiero preguntar es cuántos niños, si ellos tienen una lista de cuántos niños que vayan a Villa que no están metiéndose a sus clases, que son totalmente, no se están entregando a los estudios. ¿Cuántos niños o qué porcentaje de los estudiantes que van? Yo pienso que necesitamos saber esa información antes que nada. Y luego ya el señor Alfonso Velasco.
Sí, yo me estaba comentando pues de que en mi programa de 138 estudiantes, sí tengo 4 estudiantes que les digo los desaparecidos porque pues no los conozco, no se han presentado, no se conectan, evitan llamadas. And if you give me a moment here, Dr. Sequeira, well, you know what? You should probably tell us the numbers if you have them.
Well, I was just going to say it's difficult because we have to define what lack of engagement is, because if we're just looking at attendance rates, there are a lot of things that we can take into consideration marking students present, right? It doesn't mean that they're engaged in the learning, but I think it's safe to say that we have about 10 to 15% that have been really difficult for us to either reach at all or keep engaged. They may be engaged intermittently.
Entonces, señora Corona, lo que está mencionando la doctora Sequeira es de que probablemente el porcentaje viene siendo 10 a 15% de toda la escuela, pero algo que tenemos que tener en mente es de que la asistencia puede ser por varias razones. Probablemente puede ser por problemas en casa, puede ser por la escuela. Hay mucho, entonces es muy difícil enfocarnos en quiénes son o qué es la razón específica, así para que puedan ver qué es lo que está pasando, por lo cual no se están conectando.
But if we take into consideration all the things that we're allowed to, so we're just looking strictly at attendance rates, we continue to have very high attendance rates as VIA always has, which is about 97, 98%.
Entonces, si lo que está mencionando la directora, sorry, Ms. Rios, está mencionando de que aún así la escuela VIA todavía aún mantiene su asistencia en un porcentaje alto que viene siendo 97%, que todavía pues muestra con claridad de que no es un golpe muy fuerte en cuanto al problema de asistencia.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the presentation is mostly about the school expectations, about attendance. So my question will be, if the 15% of kids who have attendance issues, do we have 50% of McKinney-Vento students, or how many McKinney-Vento students do we have at Villa? And are those the same numbers? That will be interesting to know. Ya nada más está preguntando, parece ser que la presentación son las expectativas de asistencia en la escuela Villa, y ahora que menciona la directora del 15% de estudiantes que no está asistiendo por muchas razones, se me viene a la mente pensar qué porcentaje de estudiantes son considerados McKinney-Vento o que no tienen un hogar estable, y si esos mismos porcentajes se relacionan o pueden ser hasta los mismos estudiantes. Eso nos ayudaría también a comprender más un poco de quiénes son esos estudiantes y tal vez saber un poquito más las razones, ¿no?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. If you give me a couple of seconds here to, with your permission, and I'll say it in Spanish. Una de las cosas que se me vino a la mente es que pues quizás pueda haber alguna semejanza en los números que estamos platicando y quizás se podría justificar viéndolo de esa manera de los estudiantes que no tienen ese hogar estable, pero les voy a decir, hasta los que tienen un hogar estable, se les hace muy difícil presentarse todos los días ahorita. Nosotros como maestros, ahorita tenemos un poco las manos amarradas en el hecho de que nosotros no podemos asistir o ayudar hasta que la familia o el alumno se conecte con nosotros. Y la tristeza que me da a mí es de que los estudiantes que me necesitan más son los que no se están conectando. Los estudiantes que podrían beneficiarse más de lo que yo ofrezco como maestro, como mentor, son los que no se están conectando. Entonces la plática, tristemente, tenemos que guiarla hacia los hogares y reconocer pues de que las mismas síntomas que hemos tenido en este distrito los últimos 10, 15, 20 años siguen igual. No más que ahorita esos síntomas están con más estrés y tienen súper más consecuencias. Porque estamos como familias en la ciudad, estamos muy acostumbrados al sistema de que las escuelas son las que hacen el esfuerzo de mantener el bienestar de los estudiantes. Pero ahorita, si no se conectan, como maestro no podemos. Entonces, platicando sobre el comentario de la señora Fabiola, ¿qué es lo que podemos hacer? Una de las cosas que yo les sugiero es que animen y promuevan el programa de VPU en este semestre porque estamos platicando y vamos a explorar esas preguntas precisamente de encontrar las maneras de mantener a nuestros alumnos motivados en la casa. Yo no creo que nosotros como escuela podamos tener un impacto en esta realidad. Sería muy difícil para nosotros en lo que estamos viendo ahorita con los útiles que tenemos a nuestro alcance. Entonces nosotros lo que podríamos hacer es armar a los padres de familia con tácticas, con estrategias, para que ellos en casa puedan mantener esa motivación alta. Sí tiene razón. Reconocer y premiar los esfuerzos de los estudiantes, asistir todos los días, se puede fácilmente en casa, se puede reconocer fácil. Todos reciben llamadas cuando no están. Todos podemos darnos cuenta si estuvieron toda la semana y si no, y cada familia puede empezar a crear un sistema donde los padres pueden reconocer a sus propios hijos e hijas. No tiene que ser la escuela, no tiene que ser la escuela que hace esos reconocimientos, no tiene que ser la escuela que hace los premios. Nosotros como padres de familia podemos tomar encargo y es lo que se va a necesitar si es que vamos a seguir el aprendizaje de esta manera. So folks, I just mentioned that it's very difficult for us as teachers to create systems to motivate and engage students to connect with us. If students don't connect to us, then they won't have the benefit of what we have to offer. And the sad part is that the ones who need me specifically the most, the ones who need what I can offer them, not only academically but socially, emotionally, are the ones that are not connecting. And they would have, if they would be willing to connect, they would have at least a class with me where they can get that support and that social emotional support. And it's not just me. I guarantee you there's a large portion of our teachers that spend time focusing on those things. And I talked a little bit about maybe the families are going to have to start to create their own systems to maintain that high motivation at home. It'll be difficult for us as a school site to, recognize these students, or to come up with another system where we recognize weekly attendance and then send out awards. So you could imagine how many students we'd have to send that out to maintain that level of motivation. On the other hand, if we, through VPU and the programs that are coming this semester, if we can inform the parents and teach the parents what strategies and tactics they could use to maintain motivation at home, then we start to attack it in a more, I think, strategic and efficient way, and helping those kids who wouldn't otherwise connect, but will because they know they're going to get a hamburger at the end of the week, so to speak.
So I agree, Mr. Velasco, and I disagree. So I agree in the part that I think as parents, we're the main people that are in charge of our children's behavior. Like, it's us. And I think in our culture, sometimes we do put a lot in the school. Like, oh, teacher, do this and tell the kids this. It's like, no, we're as parents, take ownership. And I get that. But we also have to be conscious of the kind of community that we live in and that we serve. And then not everybody has a parent that knows how to do Zoom. Not everybody knows how to check their email to see if they're getting the messages. So, and not everybody, unfortunately, they have to work. Speaking from experience from Santa Ana Unified School District, has parents that are working 2 jobs that they can't attend VPU because they're trying to pay rent. So we have to be very conscious, I feel, too, is yes, the parents are going to do what we need to do, but also what is the school doing to motivate our children in a time of a pandemic, whether it's not like you have thousands of kids or a lot of kids. I don't know the amount of kids at Villa, but a lot of kids. But maybe we do a raffle and maybe 1 kid or 2 kids, or we select only a few kids every week or every month if you don't want to make it a week, but have something to kind of just not even motivate the ones that are going, maybe motivate the ones that are going and recognize that they are showing up and trying to learn. And I want to know, as a school, for those kids that are not showing up, what has been done? Has there been a home visit to make sure they're okay? If their needs, what is it that, has been done to this point too, right? So that's just my opinion.
Oh, that's a great
So one
opinion.
of the-
Oh, Cicada, please.
Oh, no, that's okay. I was just going to speak a little bit to what we've been doing. I mean, obviously, we are following the processes and protocols given to us by the district because we have to do that. Those are expectations for the school. But things that we can do independently as a site, we have Mr. Isaac Sanchez reaching out to families. We also have Neutral Ground, who is our community partner, reaching out to families, and they actually will do home visits. and check on our families and make sure they're okay and ask if there are any resources they need. We've even had Neutral Ground deliver technology to families and materials and supplies, school supplies. So we are exhausting all resources to engage our students or give them the most opportunity, the best opportunity to be engaged.
Entonces, Corona, lo que está mencionando es de que lo que están haciendo, la escuela, en la parte de la escuela, lo que se está haciendo, aunque tenemos que seguir cierto protocolo para la salud de todos, pero sí hemos usado todo tipo de, a nuestro alcance, como por ejemplo tenemos al señor Isaac, que nos ayuda en conectarse con nuestros papás y con los estudiantes también. Tenemos alguien, un programa que nos está ayudando que se llama Neutral Ground. También ellos nos han ayudado para continuar conectándonos con nuestros estudiantes, los padres también. Incluso han sido tan buenos este programa al poder ayudarnos en visitarlos, pero también incluso entregar las cosas electrónicas para que los estudiantes se puedan conectar, porque incluso yo me acuerdo que yo, antes de que cerráramos, vinieron y recogieron muchas cajas de Chromebooks para distribuir. So I just added Dr. Cicada and everyone else that I was telling Ms. Corona that before I left, before we closed completely, a Neutral Ground came and they picked up loads and loads of Chromebooks to distribute to our students.
Yeah, and if you give me a second, another thing that I'd like to add is that it's tricky, right? So exactly the students that need that help, precisamente esos estudiantes que necesitan esa motivación, necesitan ese ánimo para que se presenten, esos son los que no podemos alcanzar con los métodos que tenemos. Sí tenemos programas que nos están ayudando con los que no se conectan, ¿verdad? Pero bueno, deja darles un ejemplo de una conversación que yo tuve con una familia. Tengo un estudiante, como le dije, que no se ha presentado ni una vez. Son 3, 4 diferentes números de teléfono, no funcionan, no contestan, no regresan llamadas. Hablo al trabajo, me comunico con el papá, comparto con el papá la situación y la contesta es, ya estoy consciente de esto, por favor deje de estar hablando.
Wow.
Okay, so one thing that we need to keep in mind is that we can only really help the ones that show up and want the help. We have a community that is drowning in issues and problems. And I, for one, don't think we need to add more to it. Now, that is true. Students are experiencing learning loss, but some might say it's not learning loss. It's pandemic survival. And so if we step back for a minute and look at the bigger picture, yes, we do have some that are falling through the cracks. We do. And we are doing as much as we can to rescue them. But we can't hold the train with all this momentum to pick up people who may not even want to be on the train. And I'm not talking about students. I'm talking about families who just don't have enough space in their head and in their world to really understand what we need from them. In fact, I think it's unfair. I don't make phone calls sometimes that I'm supposed to make because that's 3 phone calls in a week. And what does that do at home? What does that do in the house? What is it going to cause?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Be an argument, you know. So that's where it gets tricky for me.
Yeah,
but I think you can have a solution that I think is going to work for most of what we're dealing with, because we do have great programs and a lot of people are attending. So hopefully in a couple of months we'll be able to really affect this.
Yeah, please.
¿Podría comentar algo? Yo lo entiendo también todo y sí tiene razón. Yo ahorita estoy en un programa donde trabajamos mucho lo que es la niñez, ¿verdad? Y lo que yo les quiero comentar es de que es más fácil cambiarle la mentalidad a un adolescente que a un padre. Un padre ya trae creencias, ya trae mucha información. Y tristemente lo digo por mí. Yo fui esa madre que preferí trabajar antes que estar atendiendo a mis hijos y me costó caro porque tengo un hijo de 25 años que está en drogas. Y me duele mucho, antes me daba pena, me ponía a llorar y todo eso, no. Sino que si mi hijo no hubiera caído en las drogas, yo no hubiera despertado. A lo que yo voy es bien, yo quiero también, ahora sí que decir que los maestros han hecho un muy buen trabajo y yo lo digo a personal mío. Yo vengo de Villa, ya tengo hace 4, 5, 6, 7, casi 9 años que mi hija estuvo en Villa y para mí fue una experiencia buenísima. Entonces, yo sé que todos los maestros están haciendo un trabajo bien grandioso porque ahorita en este momento mi hijo, a mí me mandan toda la información, pero a lo que voy también, hay padres como yo, nos quedamos en la taberna y es bien difícil meterte al Zoom, contestar hasta un correo. Ustedes de alguna manera me están empujando y mis hijos me están empujando a yo aprender, pero porque veo mi necesidad. Pero hay padres que están, como dice usted, no tienen ningún espacio en su cabeza para pensar, ¿sabes qué? Mi hijo necesita ayuda. Ahorita, se oye así como algo sencillo, pero es como para mí una catástrofe, porque o te alivianas o brincas el cerco o te vas a llevar a tu familia entre los pies. ¿Por qué? Porque te estás poniendo a trabajar, te estás preocupando por tu renta, o sea, estás más adelante de lo que es la prioridad que son los hijos. Entonces ahorita muchos papás, yo los comprendo. Mira, yo aquí al lado, hasta puedo abrir mis manos, aquí al lado hablan tan feo a su hijo, ahora el hijo de tu quién sabe cuántas, y yo nomás paso como el chavito del 8, me tapo la cabeza. Y me da pena porque en su momento yo fui así. Entonces, es bien difícil que cambiemos a esos papás, y yo lo entiendo a usted, maestro, que usted ha hablado con ellos, pero lo que yo quisiera nada más es el apoyo para los estudiantes, que ustedes los motiven, porque han hecho un buen trabajo. Yo soy de las que estoy espiando ahí, a ver cómo está, a ver, y ahí atrás de la puerta, a ver cómo te está tratando el maestro, a ver esto, y no porque mi hijo lo tienen que tratar bien, no, sino porque sé que hay muchos atrás de mi hijo también. Entonces, yo nada más les pido de favor que cada maestro los motiven a los niños a que prendan mira, tengo mi sobrina tenía muy buenas calificaciones y ahorita está bien desmotivada, o sea, son gente bien cercana que yo conozco, pero que yo entiendo que no es culpa de la escuela, que no es culpa de los maestros, que es culpa de la naturaleza, vamos a llamarle así, que nos hizo reflexionar, nos hizo valorar, nos hizo, ¿sabes qué? Esta es nuestra nueva era, vamos a llamarle así. O te implementas o te quedas atrás. Y ¿sabes qué? Yo le digo a mi hija, no, está bien, a mí tampoco me gustaba la escuela, pero ¿sabes qué? Mira, no discrimino el trabajo ni lo mal veo, pero estoy tan cansada de andar limpiando oficinas, de andar limpiando casas, me duele, ya hasta aquí ando respirando el cloro. Digo, ¿tú quieres hacer eso? No, no es que sea malo, esto déjalo para alguien que empieza a salir adelante unas personas que no tienen el inglés, pero ustedes tienen el inglés y el español. Entonces, yo nomás les pediría, motívenlos, no sé, ¿verdad? Por eso yo les preguntaba qué estrategias hay que usar, no sé, si es de, darles algo, ¿verdad? Un incentivo por parte de ustedes a los alumnos. Me gustaría que se hiciera. Ese es mi deseo personal. Yo no digo que eso se haga, ¿verdad? Pero a mí me gustaría, o sea, cómo podemos colaborar, cómo podemos trabajar. Disculpen si dije algo muy largo.
So Mrs. Corona was mentioning that she understands, you know, the situation of how everything's going, but she is also aware that the ones that are difficult to help are not the ones that are difficult to help are the parents. The students are more moldable, are easier to help. So that's why she is asking for us to, and even teachers, to focus and to help them to motivate the students. That's why she was asking what strategics are we taking to continue to motivate them so they won't lose interest, because she was just sharing her experience. You know, parents that she hears left and right, parents yelling to their kids, but at the end of it all, she just wants to see what can we do to continue, or to even just help those that need it to feel supported, to feel because she just sees that she says that it's so simple, but yet it's a catastrophe of what's happening. So
yeah, excellent points, and I appreciate the discussion. Just as a reminder here, and thank you, Ms. Corona, I appreciate your perspectives. As a reminder, the purpose of these kinds of presentations is just to kind of get us as a governing council, excuse me, you as a governing council, be informed about it, so that when decisions are being made, when items do come up for vote, that you have been, at the very least, we're talking about the subjects that would inform the decisions that you would have to make to vote up or down. And so we discuss attendance. Next time we'll discuss or we'll bring into play how it is that English learners classify and reclassify and designate what that process is like, and what our challenges are when it comes to meeting the needs of those kids, which is about 30-40% of our students. And with that, I think it's time for us to move to the DLAC presentation. Ms. Gomez,
Yes.
if you would.
Yep. So I'm putting in the chat. I don't know if you'll have access to it because it's a Google Doc, but I'm hoping you guys have access to it.
It's asking me to log in, so you probably need to set the security thing so that it says.
I don't know how to do that actually. Oh, I'll go figure it out later. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So we had our guest speaker was the superintendent, and he was there because a lot of the parents wanted to know where the $74 million was going to be allocated. So the SAUSD got $74 million for like COVID funding. And so he was just reviewing that $22 million had been spent on feeding programs, devices, that they were using other stuff for safety, for school safety and student safety, like face masks, hand sanitizers, sanitizer dispensers, face shields, custodial disinfectant. And he just went on and talked about like everything that they spent, from plexiglass, paper towels, touchless water fountains. Like he went on what he's spending that money on. They also purchased a learning kit to track student progress. They purchased Zoom for all the district, and they also spent some money on curriculum and staff development for both certified and classified staff. They did wellness and family engagement. They increased resources with partners, meal delivery to neighborhoods. They did Chromebooks, iPads, headsets, a lot of hotspots and Wi-Fi. They actually even, I think, changed like subscribers. They went to Apple Care. I'm sorry, not Apple Care, but I think they tried to change because they was having issues with the internet, and they changed subscribers. So I think that's what he talked about what they were spending. And then learning labs, he touched a little bit about how successful they've become. Some schools already started with learning labs. They did do an update on connectivity issues, that there's still some parents and students that are not getting connected, and they're still having issues with connectivity, and they're trying to work on that and see how they could help. And then they did shut down the learning labs for the surge of COVID until after the holidays. I don't know if they're back on or not, but he said after the holidays, they would reevaluate it and see if they were going to open it up again. They had a little opportunity to talk about distant learning and the challenges it provides. So we had a lot of parents, and we also had Valeria Mesqua, who was a school board, talk a little bit about what her expectations were for the school district and how she was advocating for a better instruction, that at this point, after so long, that we should be better at, or SAUSD should be better at giving instruction. They also spoke about FACES being available for resources and tech support for parents struggling with different issues. I think FACES has been a really important part for the pandemic, especially with those families that are struggling. So shout out to our Isaac, because he's been doing amazing connecting with families. They did a cyberbully presentation. It was Officer Rodriguez who gave stats on bullying and school shootings and examples how bullying impacts the community. They announced also certificates for last year's parents who were super involved. They stayed to talk to answer any questions that weren't asked during the meeting. So Dr. Chavez stayed, but the meeting was adjourned at 6:05. And I think that is it from my part. And
Beautiful.
Like I said, I do not know how to change the settings so you guys could have access to it.
Isaac said he'll show you how to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Isaac.
I don't know if I'll send you a Zoom link, and then maybe we can connect sometime this week.
That would
it's
be great.
It's
Yeah.
like a 1-2 minute, probably even less. It's super
Cool.
easy.
I might pick your
Yeah.
brain on Zoom stuff because I've been wanting to do. Yeah, let's do that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Isaac,
I'll send you a
right.
Zoom link after this.
one of the things that I would agree with the sentiment that we've gotten better at it is that we've all gotten a little bit better at using technology. Don't you think? Don't you think? I mean, not just teachers, but I mean across the country, we've all gotten a little bit better at dealing with video and audio and things of that nature. And I know it's a real problem, but thank you, Ms. Gomez. Any discussion regarding the DAC-DLAC report?
So, señora Fabiola, ahorita lo que hice es revisé nomás los minutos de la junta que tuvimos para dar. Dila que usted estuvo allí. So, ya sabes de qué estamos hablando. Y si falté algo, por favor, digan.
Okay. All right. So at this point, because there is no new business, we're at the end of our agenda, and our next DLAC-DAC meeting is next Monday for Ms. Gomez and anyone else who's going to attend. Our next meeting is on Monday, February 22nd at 3 p.m. You should all already have an invite with the Zoom link and all that stuff. And again, if you have any agenda items, please send them to Ms. Corona, but please copy me so that I can write it all up. And again, if you have any business that you'd like to propose, again, please send those to Ms. Corona and just copy me and we'll put it up on the agenda.
I just had a question for Mr. Velasco in regards to the Latinx parenting. Do we have a date for that? Oh, yep, mute it.
I got a meeting with her on Wednesday to talk specific about the dates. In fact, I'm going to be honest, Dr. Sequeira, we may have talked dates and I can't find them. So I don't know I don't know what I did. If we spoke dates for spring, I don't have them.
Yeah,
so,
we haven't talked.
We didn't choose dates. We just chose second semester.
Okay. So to be confirmed?
To be confirmed, yes.
All I know for sure though is that it's going to be one every month. So it's probably, I'm guessing it's going to be probably later in January. We're looking at probably the 28th of January if we can get it approved. And then from that point, I'm going to be shooting for the end of every month, with the exception of the last month, obviously, as we leave at the beginning of the month, I believe. But in fact, I have a meeting with her on Wednesday to discuss more particular. So hopefully in the February 22nd meeting, I'll have more information about VPU.
All right. Well, is there a motion to adjourn?
No, I just wanted to add real quick. I was just processing all the information, all the comments that Miss Angie and Miss Fabiola said. And I think this is, when we're talking about students, it's everybody's effort. So I was trying to say that I had, or that I am having, a good Villa experience, and in my case it's not as good as Miss Fabiola's and Miss Angie's, but I was just thinking I need to take responsibility as a parent. But I think at the end of the day, we all have to do what we can for the well-being of my student. That means I need to do what I can to do what's best for my son. But I was just listening to Mr. Velasco, and it was sad to say that they have to wait for us to connect with the teachers, so that way we can do something about our students. And just knowing and echoing what Miss Angie said, that some parents, they just don't have the time because they have to provide a roof over their head. And now with pandemic times, it's even harder. So I just want to say, let's do what we can. And if we all have a peace of mind, and if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, then everybody should be fine. But if there's something that we can do, or do the extra mile for the well-being of the kids, let's just do it. And in my case, tomorrow, I'm going to call every teacher of my son, and I'm going to say, guess what? I'm not happy, and what can I do to improve my son's grade? And this is me saying that, being involved in many different councils, but I'm just thinking of all the kids that don't have that parent who's not listening to this type of information. So now that this is going to be shared on YouTube, I'm going to try to share this link so other parents can listen of what you guys are saying, and not just mentioning Miss Fabiola when we make a comment, because I know more parents are going to be listening to this. So nada más quería agregar que escuchando y procesando toda la información que se dijo en la reunión de hoy, me llega el pensar en la situación que estamos viviendo y que tal vez no todos los papás o no todos los estudiantes reciben lo mejor, ya sea porque me declaro una mamá que a pesar de que estoy activa en muchas cosas, yo no he tenido una super experiencia con Villa, ¿no? Comparado con la señora Fabiola o la señora Yenchi. Pero sé que hay otros papás que están por ahí. Ahí también escucho al maestro que tristemente ellos tienen que esperar hasta que un papá se conecte para que puedan trabajar juntos por el bienestar de un estudiante. Y eso me lleva a pensar que mañana tendré que llamar a todos los profesores de mi hijo y hacer lo que tenga que hacer por el bienestar de mi estudiante. Pero qué triste de los papás que no reciben ese tipo de información y tienen que trabajar 2 trabajos porque su prioridad número 1 es darles un techo a sus hijos, ¿no? Entonces, lo que yo entiendo que eso es un trabajo en equipo de padres, trabajo en equipo de maestros, pero hagamos todo lo que esté dentro de nuestras manos por el bienestar de nuestros estudiantes. Y si lo estamos haciendo y estamos yendo una milla más allá, y si tenemos la conciencia tranquila, entonces estamos haciendo lo correcto. Pero si no hay una conciencia tranquila, entonces es ahí donde hay un poquito de problema, ¿verdad? Pero si juntos trabajamos, creo que sí puede haber cambios y prometo que si están viendo los maestros, mañana van a escuchar de mí, porque ahorita ya es tarde, pero de que tengamos que hacer lo que se tenga que hacer por el bienestar de todos los estudiantes. Con eso yo voy a terminar y ahora sí podemos hacer. Gracias.
Gracias, Idalia.
And I think we can adjourn the meeting.
Right on. So is there a motion? I think Ms. Rios is making a motion to adjourn the meeting. Is there a second? All right, Ms. Nunez is seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand. No, nobody wants to. Oh, my internet is unstable. You all froze on me all of a sudden. So right now I can't see any of you. I just asked for you all to vote, and you're all just saying, no, we're not going to vote. Sorry, folks. My computer is frozen. Can you hear me out there?
Yep.
We can hear you.
Oh, you can? Oh, okay. It's very strange. You're all looking at me going, wow. I'm assuming everybody said yes, we can adjourn?
Yes.
We all said yes.
Yes.
Good. Thank you so much, friends. If you need us, of course, you can get us on with email anytime or call us anytime. Thank you so much for your help.